Oh, there she goes again. Yesterday.
Your cat is out for your plants.
But right now she's clawing at the one that's over the pellet stove and it's hanging, and she's making it swing, and I'm afraid it's gonna like come down. She's just bad. And then, if they eat a leaf or something, then she'll throw up. I don't know what's gotten into her the last couple of days. She was here a second ago batting at this one.
Yeah. Right before we started. And then she's like, I don't want evidence of my crime on this video. So she went and attacked another plant.
We are not prepared this morning.
You okay there?
Okay, now you're not blurry.
That'll do it.
You're getting old, Gwen. This is like old lady complaining already.
Yep, right into it today.
Yes, two glasses. One is for up close, from arm's length, like reading, and then the upper part's like that mid-length for laptop and whatever, and up to maybe 10 or 12 feet out across the room is okay. I mean, not great, but okay. And then the bottom section is, reading or knitting, right, whatever. These are for out and about in the world, driving, being outside. So that's when I logged in. I'm like, wait, you're blurry. I need my office glasses.
Yes. I'm to the point where I have two. So I have my issue is I have contact lenses because I'm nearsighted. If I'm not wearing my contact lenses, I can still read just fine.
Okay, yeah.
But because of the contact lenses, my eyes can't correct enough anymore to read fine. So I have to wear reading glasses.
Yeah, you wear your
and that annoys me because I'm like, I'm still able to see. It's just the contacts that are doing it to me. And anyway, I'm kicking and screaming against getting older, Jana. I really am.
I'm not so much. I just got to find what works. I mean, I don't really care. I mean, I can't do contacts. I never have been able to do contacts. I have this huge blink reflex. I mean, I remember probably 20 years ago, I tried to do contacts. And you know how you get fitted for them and they decide which one works. And then they have office ones that are like trial ones and they put them in your eyes in the office. Yeah. So they lay me back and my blink reflex is so strong that the assistant person's like having to hold my eye open like this. And I'm like, and the doctor's like, it was awful. They had to hold me down. I can't. Yeah. And besides that, it's so windy here. It's just ridiculous. I'm like, that's just asking for like grit in your eyes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Cause it's dry and windy. It's not just windy. It's dry and
windy. If I had to do anything outside, I mean, I'll come in and my glasses are just filthy and I don't even use the squirty spray stuff. I just put them under running water with some like a tiny drop of dish soap and actually wash them. It's just disgusting because I feel like the spray stuff makes mud.
Yeah. My optometrists always give me lectures. So I started wearing glasses in middle school. I needed them much earlier though.
Wow.
Well, maybe 6th grade, but I definitely, I needed them for years earlier. Like I went and stayed with at a friend's house once. And when the mom dropped me off, she told my mom, I think Anne might need glasses. She seems like she's squinting a lot. Yeah. And then, youngest child, working divorced mom, like it just didn't happen for a few years.
Yeah. Well, and not everybody had, very few people back then had like vision insurance.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't have that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I played soccer in high school against my will. I wasn't. We all had to do a sport in my high school because we didn't have gym class. You just had to play a sport.
Okay.
So,
didn't have curling?
We didn't what? I didn't hear what you said.
They didn't have curling back then?
No, I don't live in Canada. What are you talking about?
Love curling. Come on. The U.S. has curling. Anyway.
I never heard of curling until like multiple Winter Olympics ago. And then it's like, oh, that's a weird, okay.
Oh, I love it. I think it's cool. Anyhow, so you played soccer.
I played soccer and I had glasses. And then one day on the field, a friend and I were on the next field over just messing around. And someone kicked the ball high and we both called it. And we both went to head it, and she head-butted me right here, which
Oh,
broke my glasses and sent them flying, like, both sides went flying.
yeah.
So, at that point, when we went to get replacements, that's when I got contacts and glasses.
Okay.
And since then, I haven't really been at, like, a daily glass wearer, I just wear the contacts because also I have, like, weird my ears don't match where they are on my head, like, they're a
Nobody's
little
ears
different.
match, not perfectly.
Yeah, but it always like, one side or the other kinda hurts a little when I wear
You
glasses.
can adjust
So,
that.
yeah, I know, but they never do it right.
Oh,
So, anyway, so
so
I'll do it for a day or 2 now and then,
yeah.
but other than that, I always wear
That
contacts.
reminds me, my dad comes over. I started cutting my dad's hair when COVID, right? Because and he's
Mhm.
got a beard, big white. My dad's almost he is 85. He'll be 86 this winter. So he's got this big white beard. And when COVID happened, I mean, it got to be like massive. And, he just didn't go to town and get a haircut. And so he asked, he knows, I mean, I've cut my husband's hair for 30 years. So he's like, could you cut my hair? I'm like, sure. So he comes over and then it ends up a thing. Like I got to do his beard and he hasn't shaved any of this. And I mean, it's ridiculous. He looked homeless. His,
Oh.
he did. His wife's like, you got to hand. I mean, I have a before and after and it's dramatic. It's dramatic. My daughter, I mean, she wasn't trying to be
You
rude.
could have filmed it and released it as one of those, like, "Let's
Oh,
bring this homeless
yes.
guy in
He
and give
looks
him a
homeless the
makeover."
first photo, and then afterward, he looks like a respectable, old guy. But it's funny because the first time he said something about, "Yeah, my ears don't match," and I had never noticed it. This is my own father, I'd never noticed, but I mean, he put his glasses down, and they're real
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
how mine
kidding.
are.
It's almost a half inch.
Yeah.
And I never really noticed before. It was crazy. Anyway, now here we are, 2020 COVID. He still comes over for a haircut. He hasn't gone back to town, but he waits too long. And then I'm like,
That's the
oh my
problem if you're
God.
too good at something though, Jana, then you have to keep doing it.
But I don't set my alarm or keep track on the calendar when we've done it last. I don't
Uh-huh.
send him an appointment reminder. So I rely on him or his wife to decide it's time for them to come over here.
Right.
He waits way too long, and I'm like, "Oh my word, Pop, this is ridiculous." Because on his neck, he doesn't do it in between. He does nothing.
Uh-huh.
So I gotta do all this and then, like, find the line again where I'm supposed to have his beard. It's ridiculous, and I kept telling him, I am not trained for this." And he goes,
Right.
"Oh, well, you know." I'm like, "You get what you get for free."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, the only difference between a good haircut and a bad haircut's 2 weeks." And I'm like, "Okay."
But if it's always 2 weeks.
And, he's an old farmer guy. He wears a hat all the time when he goes
Yeah.
out anywhere. Well, it's funny.
That's
I
fine.
that
Oh,
that
speaking of hats and
Oh,
haircuts and stuff like that. So we started a family chat last night to plan for like my extended family Christmas get together
okay.
with all my brothers and their wives and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we're just chatting and my stepmother's like, well, of these 2 days, which is better? And everyone's putting out their thing.
Yeah.
And my brother's like, I'm not even thinking about Christmas yet. I'm gonna, I'm 30 feet in the air and it's raining or whatever, and he sends a selfie of himself, right? Because he's like on cranes and stuff like that.
Oh, I was like, "What
So,
is
but he
30?"
sends this picture, this selfie of himself,
Yeah.
saying, "I'm not even thinking about Christmas yet." He's wearing a red stocking cap, right?
Yeah.
And his beard is full on white now. He's full on white. And so I'm like, whatever, Santa, you're not thinking about Christmas. It was so funny. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
So speaking of which, you can see I did not find the box I
mhm.
need from the attic yet.
Yeah, still no Christmas, Jana.
I am not a put it right up after Thanksgiving kind of person.
This is the first year since we've been back from the Philippines, I think, that I have waited till Thanksgiving. Because in over there, it's the Burr months. So September, October, November, December.
Oh,
You get
really?
4 months of Christmas.
Oh my word. That's
So
crazy.
September 1st is when like the malls and stuff will start playing Christmas music.
No.
And start of October, you'll start seeing like real amounts of decorations going up. And by sort of mid-October, it is Christmas time in the Philippines, and you embrace it. You run with it. You enjoy it. It is a joyful time of year.
Whether you want it to be or not.
Whether you want it to be or not. So we started missing it. So we started sort of 1st of November, we would start putting our stuff up, but this year was just too crazy. So it happened after Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah. I just, and I'm in a little bit of a funk because like, if I do it now, no one's here to help me.
No,
I'm like,
I got fired.
Yeah. Do you wait for the kids to come home and help you or not?
Yeah. Well, I was
go ahead.
a drill sergeant about it anyway. So I just did it 90% of the way, but the kids had their own tree that they decorated.
Really? A whole tree?
Yeah, we have 3 trees in our house.
What?
So I started a tradition in our family where we get an ornament, each of the kids and then the family. So 3 ornaments every year that has their name on it. Okay. So that's how many years have we been doing that now? 21 years for my oldest. So we're looking at 63 ornaments just from that. But then also we live, again, Philippines reference. We should have like a graphic for that. Anne talks about the Philippines nonstop still. Where the ornaments that you would see here in the store for like $10, $15, whatever, like fancy pants ones, you know, they're being made over there and sold in the markets there for like $1.
Right.
So I'd be like, that's cute. That's cute. So we have all those ornaments. Then we have the ornaments the kids made and the ornaments people give to us and whatever. Yeah. So we have 2 artificial trees and 1 real tree every year.
Gosh.
And the kids have theirs. That's all their ornaments. And I got as far as getting everything else set up, but that one is just sitting there for when my youngest gets back and then they can do it together.
Because I feel like Anne's all, woo, Christmas. And I'm like, eh.
Well, it's done. But at the same time, I'm kind of otherwise like, Christmas, whatever. Like that's, I think you and I talked about this a little bit the other day. Like just the seasonal stuff is really messing with me this year. And I'm just like,
yeah. You need like some more vitamin D, maybe? I don't know.
That could very well be it. I've been living pretty much like a hermit indoors for the last month. So
yeah, I mean, you said yesterday, like how your Peloton's in the basement and stuff. So
yeah. And I am definitely pale Anne right now too. So
non-tan Anne, we talked about that.
Non-tan Anne.
Okay, but I had a flashback when you're talking about the ornament. I had a flashback to the pizza slice.
It's up.
And for viewers that are new this year, I will put a link down below to whatever day that was. It was pretty early on last year when you had the CVS challenge and ended up with a ornament of a pizza slice. So,
and it wasn't just a pizza slice. It was a pizza slice with blue and gold seed beads glued all over it for some reason. And Janet, there's another shop in town here that just like, it's like different buildings. And one of the buildings is always Christmas.
Right.
And so I went there to pick up a few ornaments for friends this year. And I was going through and I saw pizza slice ornaments. But none of them had blue and gold seed beads all over them. So why would I even bother?
Right, because yours is
why would I bother? Yeah.
Yes. Special.
Ridiculous stuff.
I'll put that link down below so people can rewatch and see how that happened. That was ridiculous.
That is a ridiculous ornament, but it is on the tree. It will forever be honored in our home. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to have to drag out my stuff, I guess.
If not now, when? If not you, who?
Well, and do you leave it up? Or, I mean, for a while after Christmas, or do you take it down like on the 27th or something?
We leave it up to the 13th day or the 12th day. You know, you have your 12 days of Christmas or after Christmas. So what is that, January 6th? Then we take it down January 7th or so.
We don't leave it up that long. I mean, I think that's the 12 days of Christmas. That specifically is a Christian tradition because of
I
January
think it's a
6th.
Catholic thing.
Yeah, because January 6th is usually Epiphany.
My house feels much more like intentionally decorated when it's Christmas time. When all the Christmas
Yeah.
stuff's put away, it's just sort of like, here's this thing and there's that thing and whatever.
Right. We usually take ours down like pretty much right away because then in my house all the birthdays start. So we shift
Yeah.
from holiday Christmas mode to birthday mode, you know? So because we have birthdays bam 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 right after New Year's Day. So
Right.
we shift, we just pack it up.
Yeah.
We pack it up.
When my mom was a kid, like in the late, like her memory of being a kid would have been sort of mid 40s onwards.
Yeah.
She said that they didn't decorate at all. Her parents did it all on Christmas Eve. So they
Oh,
went to bed and then they woke up and it was Christmas. The
and
tree
it's
went
like,
up, all the decorations and everything went up on Christmas. And then Christmas, it was the 12 days. It was the
okay.
time after.
Okay.
And then at the Epiphany, the next day, it all came back down again. So it was much more like, this is Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Following the religious calendar in that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they were Baptist. So I'm not
Well, no, I
sure.
mean, Epiphany is a thing, I think, a Western
But I
Christian.
think just culturally, that's how it was done,
I
before
don't
we really
know.
were like, go shop, you got to shop, 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 and then it got longer and longer ahead of
We
time.
always did. We always decorated when I was a kid. We always decorated, before,
Right.
not right after Thanksgiving necessarily, maybe like the first week-ish or two of December, not super early, but stockings were filled Christmas Eve.
Yes.
You don't do that early.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
we don't feel that. That is Christmas Eve because that's Santa.
Well,
I'm sorry. That's Santa. Uh, we would put, I don't know, maybe little ears need to go away for a minute or two if there's any little ears
oh
listening.
yeah, maybe we should. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
But
spoiler.
when we were little, some presents would go under the tree and then Santa would bring more and Santa would do the stockings.
Yes. Same.
When my kids were little, Santa only brought one present.
Right.
And it could literally be whatever you want. And I have our kids had realistic expectations. So it was never like, I want a F-16 fighter
A
plane,
car.
it wasn't, yeah. They never, it was like, I want a doll or something. I actually have a story about this in the one Christmas episode I ever did. Jana, I'll send you a link to that because
On
it's
your
like,
podcast. Okay.
it's one of those Christmas miracle type things. Anyway.
Okay. So we'll put the link down below for the Anne's podcast about the Christmas miracle.
About the Christmas miracle. But then also the stockings. So Santa did stockings and one present, and that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
And when we were little is when they very first kind of started, like the NORAD Santa tracker.
Was that when we were little?
Wasn't it?
I don't remember that until I was like in college or older.
Well, I'm older than you.
I know. So how was that when we were little? Would they do it? Were they doing it on the
That
news?
much older than you? I don't know.
My first sort of comprehension that was
would have been-
happening was when the internet existed.
Okay, maybe you're right.
In a widespread way.
Okay. Okay. I think I had my first email when I was about 24.
I had my first email address when I was 18, so probably about the same time.
Well, wait, you're not 50 yet, are you?
No.
Okay.
I knew about the internet my senior year of high school is when my calculus professor told us like there's this thing out there.
Right.
But then when I went to college is when like we got email addresses and they sat us down and like had to talk with us like
had to talk with you.
This is what email is and this is how you use it and this is like all this stuff. So.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that would have been 94.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So speaking of internet, you mentioned that this is a good segue. You mentioned you were watching a show. So what have you, I have on my list, what have you been watching lately? Because I ran across a couple things that I think are absolutely hilarious. Some people do not have my same sense of humor, and that's okay. But what have you been watching lately?
So I have been, as I said, I've been watching through the all of the Marvel
Oh, yeah.
universe in the order that it happens in the Marvel universe, as opposed to when
Cool.
things were actually created and released.
Published, right. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, what movie did I just watch? The last movie, oh, I'm in the middle of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 right now. So that's after like the first season of Agents of Shield. I've seen that. I've seen like the first few Captain Americas, the first few Iron Mans. Anyway, but there's like a guide online where someone like figured it out, like watch these 6 episodes of this show and then watch this movie and then
Oh,
watch these episodes and then watch this. And I'm I don't I have no reason to do it. I'm just a nerd and I like the Marvel movies. And I'm never going to be the person who like has every fact down,
yeah.
you know, but I just think it's interesting. I like escapism fiction, it's just
Yeah, that's
fun.
okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm doing that right now. And so it's just like, that's anytime I sit down to watch something now, it's it's the next step of that. So
Okay.
I can send you the link if anyone's interested. I can send the link to Jana too, so that can be below. And then
Okay. So you
anyone else
too could
wants to
watch
do
the
that.
Marvel whatever's in the correct order according to the
Yeah.
Marvel universe.
Right. I'm gonna have to make notes here. I have promised to link 2 things and I'm gonna forget.
Okay.
What are you watching?
Well, it's ridiculous. It's just one of those dumb, funny things. It's an Australian comedy, and it, it's only like half-hour episodes, and there's only like 6 of them in a season. So it's just a tidbit of funniness. You could take a half hour, sit down, knit a little bit, knit your stripe on your socks, and watch this half-hour thing. But it's called Fisk, Fisk, and I think it's on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's just funny. I think it's funny. And it's the kind of thing where you could watch it over again and realize the funny references you missed the first time, or the little
Mhm.
tidbits you missed the first time. So I watched season 1 several months ago, and then a friend of mine texted and said, "Oh my gosh, season 2 of Fisk is out." And then I'm like, "Okay, well, that's cool. I'm going to watch season 1 over again." So I am, before I watch season 2, because like I said, they're real short and there's only 6 of them. But
Yeah.
it's funny. I'm not even going to tell. Just go check it out. It's only 30 minutes to see if you like it. It's funny, I think.
So when you say that watching it again, you pick up other things,
Yeah.
is that because of how they are delivering the humor in general and you just like missed it a little bit? Or is it because having watched the show more, you understand the culture more, and so you're picking up more on some of the jokes you just missed because you didn't understand the cultural differences?
Or C, because I was knitting and not paying attention as well.
There you go.
Or D, all of the above. Yeah,
But
that. We'll go with D.
yeah. So some friends of mine in
Enjoyable.
Shetland recommended this show called Still Game, and you can get it on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's 2 pensioners in Glasgow, and it's an older show, and like they did a few seasons that are quite old, and then they didn't do the show for a few years, and then they came back and did a few more seasons.
Okay.
And it's not some of especially the older ones, some of the humor you're kind of these days you're kind of like, um, but the longer you watch it, the more you understand
Right.
like the culture they're functioning in, and
Sure.
then the funnier it gets, I think.
Right. That makes sense.
So yeah.
It's fun.
So
So then the other one, of course, you can watch the first episode of Shetland on Amazon Prime if you have BritBox.
BritBox, yeah.
And they're released once a week, so that annoys me some. I might just have to wait, but I'm watching, or one a week right now of the new season 8 of Shetland. And then
Yes.
the other one I watched kind of recently, and I just wish I mean, it left me with a cliffhanger, and then I was upset that there isn't season 2 yet, is called The Diplomat.
Yes. That's with what's her face, and then what's
Yes.
his bucket is her husband, and
Yes.
she's trying to do her job, and he's, like, functioning in the background, and you're like, "Back off, dude," and she's like, "Back off, dude," and that's the synopsis in technical language for
Yes,
anyone who's curious.
I can't think of her first name is her real life first name is Carrie
Carrie Mc
something. Mick, no, wait. Anyway,
Carrie Russell?
yes, maybe. Watch The Diplomat though, and she's the same actress who was a principal role in The Americans, which is a spy thing and pretty violent, definitely not for workplace or family.
It
Uh,
is Carrie Russell.
yes. Did you ever watch The
I never
Americans?
watched The
Oh, okay,
Americans.
see, that's done. That whole thing's been wrapped up. There were 5 or 6 seasons, I forget how many, but you could start at the beginning and watch the whole thing. But again, it is, assassin kind of stuff, and so it's not suitable for families or workplace. But it's intriguing, and it's all about the Cold War and how these Russians are, I've talked about it on the podcast before, but this couple is living in suburban 1980s, Reagan era, Washington,
Uh-huh.
D.C. And, they're travel agency people back when people went to a travel agent to buy plane tickets before the internet. Anyway, so they're like regular middle class people, house, suburban, 2 kids, cul-de-sac, the whole thing. But they're really Russian spies.
Right.
And even their children don't know who they really are. And the travel agency is a cover because they travel a lot.
Yeah, so
And it
they
turns out that there's a CIA guy that lives across the street and they're kind of friends with him, but he doesn't know who they are.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
This
And
is the dude.
oh yeah, what's his name? Rufus
Rufus
Frederick.
Sewell.
Oh,
Sewell?
yeah, right.
Sewell.
Yeah,
He's such a cutie
from The Diplomat.
from The
Anyway, watch
Diplomat.
The Americans because that's Kerry Russell and I can see his face, can't think of his name.
What's his bucket? Now we know Rufus Sewell, so the other guy can be what's his
Right.
bucket.
Right. Anyway, I might watch the whole thing again because that is a complicated enough story where you could totally forget the details. But
That's
I tell
good.
you,
Okay.
when that wrapped up and ended, I was like, oh, no, I did not see that coming. And it
So
wasn't.
it's done. It's complete.
It
It's
is
done.
complete. Yeah,
Okay.
I did not see it coming.
And is Fisk Fisk or is there an E or
No, because the main
no
character, her
silent
name
E?
is, she's middle aged and recently divorced, and she's an attorney or solicitor, and her name is Helen Tudor Fisk. Fisk.
Cool.
And her father is Judge Fisk. But anyway, she really needs a job. And so she goes and gets hired with this like, ridiculous like little corner attorney and all they do is probate stuff.
Mhm.
It's hilarious. I
Nice.
can't it's just funny. And I think it's hilarious. Anyway, yeah. So at least try it and then tell me what you think
Okay.
tomorrow.
I will
'Cause
add it to my list. I
you
was
tried.
thinking last night as I was watching Marvel movies, I was like, I think I need something to mix into this.
And it's only a half hour. You could just watch
Yeah.
that and tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see in a week or two.
So speaking of watching, I'm gonna do a shameless plug here. I am close. We are close to 50,000 subscribers on the channel.
Nice.
So if you're watching the Ann and Jan show and you have not yet subscribed, push the button.
Push
Because
the button.
when I get to 50,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a 50K giveaway.
Woo woo.
So hopefully we'll make it there by the end of the year. And wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
We could have confetti and.
I was gonna say, give me warning so I can confetti.
Okay. Or silly string. Maybe that's easier.
I'm gonna have to clean up a lot before I confetti because if I confetti with this much stuff on my work table, it is not going to be an easy.
I mean, I was just thinking we would do it virtually, like on a screen, special effect screen movie editing kind of thing.
I'm not. I'm more of a like do it up right kind of thing.
And rather than confetti, maybe I'd rather do the woo hat,
Oh, that would be fun. Some party hats, yes.
for a paper party
Click
hat.
the subscribe button, guys. This is gonna be great
Boom.
fun.
And yeah, and I'll figure out a prize package for the giveaway.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. Shameless plug, hit the button and click the little bell icon. So that way when we upload a new video, I mean, we do this daily in December, but the rest of the year we don't do it daily.
No.
But then you'd hit the little bell notification so you get notified when there's a new video.
Yeah.
Whether it's a podcast or a tutorial or just me going on. I mean,
Should we do a bag? Should we do yarn?
Yes. 5. Oh, show us.
Can you tell what it is?
It's either cheese, Legos, or
maybe shortbread?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay.
Out of context, then it could be cheese or Legos.
Thought, right? I could have, had I been thinking Shetland, I could have thought tea and shortbread. But you remember how last year I couldn't decide, I couldn't tell that a hot chocolate thing, I thought it was a crock pot. So you can't ask. Ooh.
So this, again, Uradale Yarns. This is Ling Meal.
Oh.
Ling Meal. So the other day we had Ling Heath.
Oh, wow.
So this one's on the Bare Meal background, which is this background.
Nice.
But it's the same dye as this one.
Right.
Wait, I can't tell which finger's which. Everything's backwards and upside down. So anyway, this color for today.
Yeah, it's lovely.
The Ling Meal. Let me see if I can get all 5 of them on my hands. Okay. So that's what we have so far.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
There we go. So we have one more day. Okay. I mean, spoiler alert, but I made it clear 5 makers, 6 things. Yeah. So we have one more day of Uradale and then we'll be on to the next one.
And real quick, because I noticed that the yarn goes amazingly well with what you're wearing. What are you wearing? What is that pattern?
I don't know if you can actually see details. It's so dark.
Kind of.
Let me stretch it.
Yeah.
So this is the Farag cardigan by Elizabeth Johnston. It was in also the Shetland Wool Week annual 2 years ago, maybe. I did it with Jameson's of Shetland DK.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the color, but
that color looks great on you, by the way.
Thank you. Elizabeth designed this to have no sleeves, which is the version I have, or long sleeves. And she also provided the pattern in the DK and in jumper weight or fingering weight.
Oh.
So you have a lot of options when you pick up this pattern.
The pattern, there's like lots of choices.
There's lots of choices for it. And I did the short sleeve version because I wanted to wear it on a certain day, and that's as far as I got. But
okay.
But it's square, the front to back make a square silhouette.
Sort of a boxy pattern.
Okay. Yeah, and then you just do ribbing around there, but because it's longer than your shoulders, then it makes a short sleeve.
Sure. That makes sense.
So, I love it. I wear this as often as I can. I like it a lot.
I would make, I think, the long sleeve version, and I might even have enough yarn for that.
Yeah. I will say
version.
I will say I am 5'9".
Okay.
I saw this, it's meant to be a cropped sweater, but I saw this in person before I bought the yarn for it, and then I saw it in person. And seeing it in person was comic because Elizabeth is about 5 feet, 5'2", maybe.
She's a tiny woman.
And so standing next to the thing on the dummy, I was like, it's going to hit right under my bust line. Like that's how cropped it is. And it's meant to hit like top of hip. But so I did a full other repeat of the stitch pattern and it hits top of hip for me now. And if I were to do it again,
you have a pretty long torso though as well.
I don't.
Oh, you don't?
I have long legs on a normal torso.
Okay, I see.
So, but I think it was designed for more to be cropped on petite.
Okay. Good
So
to
I
know.
would say buy a little extra because if you're not petite, you might want to lengthen it a little bit.
I would.
You
I
know,
would.
yeah.
Because I think I'm more short-waisted. I have a shorter torso. However, I'm a large person. I'm almost 5'10".
Hmm.
And I need to lose some weight. And I would rather it not be above my midriff
Hmm.
largeness.
Yeah. I usually like things to hit me sort of mid hip.
Yeah, yeah.
That's usually a good length for me,
Or
but
like the middle of your back
yeah,
jean pocket.
yeah.
Yeah, roughly.
So, but this one, it is still cropped. Like I said, it's still a shorter one for me, but it works. Like I'm happy with it.
Lovely. It's lovely.
Thanks.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Okay, what am I supposed to show you?
You're showing me
Day
yesterday's stripe
4.
and
Day 4.
today's new
Okay.
color.
Day 4. Stripe. Being careful. Ooh. Well, I like it.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, you can see the variation in the green.
Yes. So I'd say that's more of a
Oh,
greenish brown. That's more of a pine, and this is more of an olive.
okay.
It's tonal.
Nice.
I like it. And then here's our little bit of a neutral.
What's it gonna be?
It's a lighter
It's
olive.
more green?
Yes, I love it.
I wonder if it's gonna be like a rainbow gradient, and so you're getting multiples of each color as you go, and
I'm
it's sort of
happy
maybe? I
about it.
don't know. This is intriguing.
I know.
I'm gonna laugh if it's like all green.
Well,
I think
I
that would
would not
be
be unhappy if it was. I love it.
well, and that I think would show a lot of skill on the part of a dyer to come
Oh,
up
for
with all
sure.
of those different gradients of
24
green.
shades. Well,
Yeah,
no, the first one was navy. Remember, the first one was
right.
navy, but still, I think it's fantastic.
I think it's really cool so
And,
far.
and
They're
it's a
really cute, and I just wanna say, we do have the same size foot, so, just saying.
you don't wear 12, do you?
I remind you of this every single year, Jana. We are basically the same height and have the same size feet.
That's true.
Yes.
We just carry around our extra in different places.
Well, who knows? Because we only exist from here up,
Well,
so
that's true. I was saying to my mom over dinner last night, she goes, "You and Anne just have all this stuff to talk about. It's like you're," and I'm like, "I know, isn't it weird? Like we've never actually met each other in person, but it feels like we have, but we haven't, but it's strange." Do you think do you think that'd be weird to see each other for real, like in the same room?
I think it will be strange when we first meet because, like, we plug in everything else about someone, you just
Yeah,
anyway.
I know, because then I'm like, okay, so you're about my same height. Yeah, it's
I'm
interesting.
always surprised these days when I meet someone who I've met online who
Yeah,
is my height or taller,
yeah,
because I just assume everyone's shorter because most women are shorter than me,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And so then I met Susan Anderson of, the Journal of Scottish Yarns
Oh,
at Shetland Wool Week, and she's actually taller than me. Like, when I wear, like, boots with a heel on them,
yeah.
and so we're about the same height that way, but that means she's naturally taller than me, and I was, like, shook.
I was shook.
I was shook because I thought she'd be like, "Here," and she said the same thing. She's like, "Oh, you're so tall," and I'm like, "Oh, you're so tall."
Okay, well, we will document when it happens. We'll do like a little
When it
Instagrams or
happens,
something.
we'll see.
Yeah, cool. Okay,
Okay, have we covered everything? I
I
think we
think
have.
so. Thanks for joining the. Oh, and people said Anne and Jan.
Ann and Jan? Okay, the Ann and Jan morning show?
Yes.
We could just do, like, the Jan morning show.
I have a really good friend, and our names are an anagram.
Oh, really?
So if I was the word guy on the Sunday morning New York
Will
Times,
Smith, Will
yeah,
Shorts?
would you be able to figure that out if I told you it was an anagram of my name?
I mean, would it Ange? Would it be just be Ange?
Okay, but if you spelled it like you just
Naya?
said, what would it be?
Naja?
No, what would it
I
be
th
if you spelled it like you said first?
What did I say first?
Ange.
Ange, A-N-J.
But
Anja?
Anya.
Anya. Okay, there, I got there. I
Yeah.
got there because you told me.
Her parents are German, so
That makes sense. I was thinking the J probably had to be
something
a
else.
Y sign or Y sound,
Let it
but
go.
I couldn't get there. I was like, Naya? Something anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's say goodbye,
Okay,
and
we'll
then we can
see
talk some more.
we'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
Bye, everybody.